So, hello and welcome, everyone. It's lovely to be with you, to feel your presence in different places in the world that we all are, and yet coming together in this heart space together, to practice together, to cultivate, to share our humanity with each other. So for tonight's practice, I would like to bring in a practice that is near and dear to my heart, and many of you know this already. It's no news. And it's a way that actually this practice enlivens life, enlivens the way we live, enlivens the way we love, enlivens the way we interact. It awakens us right here and right now. And that practice is the practice of mindfulness of our mortality, being aware, not with fear, not with trepidation, but yeah, of course, there's impermanence. Of course, there's impermanence. And bringing that awareness, bringing perspectives from our impermanence, that this life of mine, this being, this precious being who is me, is impermanent. This lovely being who is me, with all their gifts, with their aspirations, with their challenges, with their difficulties in life. Oh, yes, this being, there's sense of impermanence, to really feel into that sense of impermanence. And let that be an opening to loving more deeply, loving ourselves more deeply. This being, oh, sweetheart, yes, this is not forever. You're not forever. Loving ourselves more deeply and loving others. Because in the light of impermanence, everything can become more precious, not less valuable, not throwaway, but actually more precious, more sacred. So I'd like to say that tonight's theme, maybe I would say, is love and death. Love and death. It's enlivened, loving more deeply, caring more deeply through knowing our impermanence. So I'll be offering a guided meditation tonight. And in many ways, we can think of guided meditations and actually an act of meditation, or any act of actually being in the world is an act of perception, the way we perceive ourselves, the way we perceive the world. This idea of perception is fundamentally important. And we can have perceptions that are helpful. We can have perceptions that are not helpful towards peace, happiness, service for ourselves and others. So with the guided meditation I will offer tonight, the intention is to bring up, to invite, to encourage particular ways of perceiving, particular perceptions, particular perspectives that lead to perceptions. And doing this, encouraging these perceptions to arise, these helpful perceptions to support us in our life, in our loving, in our being, I will guide us through as we often do here at Happy Hour, with some invitations, with some perspectives, taking on perspectives. And these perspectives, just to say, as I will guide you, it will become clear in a moment as I will guide you through this practice. But just to say a few preparatory remarks. And then I think what I will do is So you know I will be locking the Zoom room tonight because I don't want people to join late tonight. This is a comprehensive meditation. And if you happen to drop out, you won't be able to join back, so you know this. So with the invitations that I will make, in no way will is there a an intimation that they are true, that that there is life after death, there is no life. What we don't know, I haven't been there to come and tell you, so I don't know. So we take this on as an exercise, the way you, for example, if you're an athlete, you would imagine hitting the ball, just to bring up a sense of, oh, what is it like? Or when you're practicing loving kindness, you see your loved one and you see your connection to them, or you see yourself through their eyes, to bring up particular perceptions. So in the guided meditation, at some point, I will invite you to perhaps see yourself as, oh, having died from the other side. Again, not to assume there is another side. There may not be. Let's be agnostic. But these are devices. I'm using these devices in this guided meditation to bring up particular perspectives, okay? And particular perceptions that may support us right here, right now, in our life, right here, right now. Okay? We're good with that? Yes, I've set it up. Okay, great. No assumptions, not positing anything, just trying to use skillful means to open up our perceptions, Okay, so with that, I invite you to get settled, and I'm going to lock the room now. Here we go. Okay, there. So let's begin. Let's land. Let's land in our seat. Let's arrive. Let's land in our seat. Here we are. As always, we arrive with the breath, with the body, arriving, landing. And letting go of everything that has come before, all the words, all the conceptions, conceptualizations, just dropping all of it, releasing. No need. A beginner's mind, meeting this moment fresh, meeting this moment fresh. What's arising in this moment? In the body, the breath, connecting with the soothing breath, the rhythm of the breath, the sensations. Releasing into the body. With each out breath, relaxing, softening. releasing into the body here, releasing thoughts, releasing contentions, entanglements. Feeling your feet on the ground. Feeling your seat, feeling your sit bones on the cushion on the chair. Arriving, arriving. Keep arriving every moment. And if the mind was distracted, it's okay. That previous moment is gone. Arrive. Arrive afresh in this body, in this moment here, in this moment of aliveness. releasing any thoughts, smilingly, as if they're flies flying around you, not being entangled in the web. Letting there be a sense of connection with the trust, the deep trust in your heart. Sense of trust that is there, even if it's hard to perhaps really connect to in this moment. And the sense of goodness, trust and goodness, yours and others. Awakening goodness, trusting in goodness. And non-harming and kindness. Taking refuge. And benevolence, your own benevolence. Not causing harm. The intention for not causing harm. And those of others. And now I'd like to invite you, as we feel embodied, feeling our bodies, the breath, sense of connection here and now, not in our head, but embodied with the body. Let us imagine, take on, try on this perspective, this perception that you have died. You are no longer living. I am no longer living. And for the purpose of this meditation, not making any assumptions or positing anything about life or death, but what if we take on this perception of looking through our lives, what has been, through the veil of the beyonds. This person who is me, was me, as if you have stepped outside in a zone, in an area where there is no agency, no agency. Trying on the perception where you can see yourself. And you can see your loved ones. But you no longer have agency anymore in your life. It's over. This might bring up sadness, it might bring up grief. Can we breathe with it? Appreciating first this person who is us, was us, their challenges, their trials, their tribulations, all the ways in which they suffered, all the ways they served, they were kind. Can we see ourselves from this distance as a beloved other? Appreciating ourselves. Maybe it brings up a sense of tenderness for this being who is me. They really tried. They tried their best. It was not easy for them. Is it possible from this perspective to give our heart to ourselves, to this being who is me, who was me? Can we give ourselves completely, our heart completely, lovingly? Oh, sweetheart, you thought your struggles, your challenges were going to last forever. Is there a wish for being more patient, more loving, or to have been more patient, more loving with this being who is ourselves? Who was ourselves, playing with different perceptions. Time was short. Time is short. How could have we loved? How can we love? Support, care for this being who is ourselves, who was ourselves. Again, stepping out of this frame, looking through our own eyes and looking at ourselves from a third person's perspective, through a veil of lack of agency, no longer possible, perhaps. What does that bring up? If we feel the opportunity is lost, for many it can bring a sense of recognition how precious the opportunity actually is. To light a fire for action, not to take it for granted anymore. Also now, let's take a moment to recognize, also from this third person perspective, stepping outside through the veil of lack of agency, looking at our loved ones, at the world, people we care about, or maybe even people we had challenges with. and maybe others in the future. People we don't know, but people who could have benefited from our kindness, our action, our service. Is the heart moved from this perspective? Recognizing that opportunity could be lost any moment, any time. Maybe from this perspective that it has been lost, to bring us to more love, more care for our loved ones, to give them the best of ourselves, not miss any opportunity for generosity, for kindness, for love. Because one day there will be no opportunities. It will be true someday. And stepping back into our first person experience. And from our first person experience, we're alive. Gosh, here I am in this body, in this mind, in this life. I can connect with loved ones, perhaps resolve challenges with those I've had difficulty, and love myself. Be here for this person who's me. Care for them, support them, serve the world. Opportunity is not lost. I have agency. Time is short. Time is precious for loving deeply, for serving, for giving my best, offering my best, my wholeheartedness, my kindness, the best of me to the world, to others. Not lose any opportunity for loving, for kindness, for generosity. Don't miss, not to miss. Enter the last moments of this practice, opening our hearts to our fellow practitioners in the Sangha who practice together with us. We are here, the gift of our presence, our kindness, our care is the highest gift we can give to each other. in our hearts, offering our best, our care, our appreciation to one another. Thank you, friends. Thank you for being here. And I am here supporting you with the most precious resource I have, my time, my presence, my wholeheartedness, giving our best to each other and the world. May all beings everywhere truly recognize how precious, how sacred this opportunity to be human, this precious human birth really is. To love, to wake up for the sake of ourselves and all beings everywhere. Do not waste. Do not waste. May all beings be awake. May all beings be free. Thank you all. Thank you for your practice. So, the intention, as I mentioned at the beginning with this guided meditation, was to bring a different perspective, a sense of a perception of love, of care, of urgency that only through mindfulness of our impermanence can be enabled. It's so enlivening, awakening to live from that perspective instead of just taking it for granted. Here we go. Yes, yet another day, etc., etc. Such profound practice this can be. So I'd like to invite you, if there are reflections, aha moments, questions, comments, you can type them in chat. If they're typed to me alone, I won't read your name. If they're typed to the community, I will read your name as well as your reflection. And you can raise your hand also if you haven't spoken in a while. For the benefit of all beings, offering your practice, your insights, and appreciations coming in from YouTube. Thank you, you're welcome. And also privately on Zoom. So, any insights that you'd like to share, to be held witness, and to support others? Any aha moments? Wayne, I see your hand. You're still muted.
Okay. It brings me courage to speak. But during it, I just thought of situations where I often don't have the courage to speak, but it brought up for me the feeling of, it brought up a feeling of courage. There's one specific thing related to my school and a parent that it makes me feel courage.
Beautiful sense of courage. So the sense of uprightness, uprightness and courage. Beautiful. Nice. Yeah, thank you for that. It's lovely. Nancy writes, sobering, reflecting on those living in the war zones where every moment brings the certainty of uncertainty, a heightened awareness. Yes. Yeah. Thank you for bringing that reflection in. The certainty of uncertainty. In some ways, for all of us, there is the certainty of uncertainty. We just don't live according to it. We just live as if the next moment is certain. It never is. It really isn't. It really isn't. And of course, living in a war zone, that's quite heightened for clear reasons. And having lived in a war zone myself when I was growing up in Iran during the Iran-Iraq war, there is an intensity, of course, to that. Megan says, I am feeling called to share some Dharma humor that came up today on this theme. One of the physicians I was working with in palliative care said, life is a sexually transmitted terminal condition that many people do not realize they have. Oh, that is funny. Sexually transmitted terminal condition. That's hilarious. It is sexually transmitted and it's terminal. Well, yes, exactly. Birth is terminal. Birth is absolutely terminal. We all have a terminal condition, you all. Thank you for that. Somebody pointed out that I missed a comment. Oh, yes, I've missed a couple of, oh my goodness, I've missed lots of comments. Here we go. Thank you for that. Catherine says, this one is hard for me. I live in constant anxiety of wasting my precious life, which causes me to suffer and seek distractions and feel disconnected. Then I feel guilty for feeling anxious. But it feels like if I truly contact the reality of mortality versus conceptualizing it, it would help me wake up from this trance. Yes, Catherine. Yes, absolutely. It's not a conceptualization. It's so profound what you've just realized. If you conceptualize, then it becomes there's terror management theory, and with if we're afraid of our death, then we actually end up wasting time. But if we actually touch into the reality of it, um, and yeah, your comment is so insightful, then it actually helps not waste time, not distract ourselves. Yeah, thank you for that. Very insightful. Another reflection. I struggled with the third person perspective. And when you mentioned having no agency, it dawned on me that I have and still do spend a lot of time feeling I have no agency. What an interesting insight to have, and actually realize that you have the feeling of no agency, but actually you do have agency. So it might be helpful to really feel into what really not having agency feels like. It's like emptying the cup of tea, completely emptying the cup. And then when you bring it back, it's like, oh, actually, there is some cup, there is some tea in here. Maybe it feels cold or stale, but there is tea in here. It's not empty. So thank you for that reflection and continue to work with that. Um, one more reflection. I have been doing 5 daily reflections for a while, but there doesn't seem to be any urgency even now while we contemplate mindfulness of death. Um, I recommend the practice of this could be my last breath. Um, that can bring up a lot of agency. And this practice I just brought up, try this because, take your time. Maybe this 30 minutes was not long enough. Really, maybe as the weekend is coming, take some time to just settle in the body and then bring up a sense of you're dead. There's nothing you can do. And then from that perspective, look at your life. It can be so profound. It's 6:50. We should turn to small groups. Scott, I do see your hand. I'll come back to you. Let's reserve for the end. At the end, I'll come back to you. So I like to set up the breakout rooms. It's so precious to offer each other our presence after this practice. So my invitation is to, again, we're speaking for our own benefit, not for each other. Speak from our own experience, not commenting, not reflecting, not managing, not serving as a facilitator. Just speak from your own experience close to your heart, or hold silence. Offer your kindness. We'll go around and each person will say one nugget. If you have 10, just say one. The next person will come back to you. You go around a few times. And let's see if there's anything else I want to say to set it up. I think that's it. So, so I need to do something to set the rooms here. Hold on one sec. Okay. So be kind to yourself, be kind to each other. This is where the practice meets, the cushion meets live human beings who just like you live and die. Okay. So here we go. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Okay, welcome back, everyone. The rooms are closed and pretty much done, but I did promise to come back to Scott. So, Scott, if your comment is still relevant, you're welcome to share it.
What came up for me during this exercise, which I thought was this exercise was very profound, is regret. And the piece of it that I was thinking of was about 10 years ago, my wife and I were deciding whether to have a daughter or not. And I didn't want a daughter. I didn't want a son. I didn't want a child. My wife did. And I thought about it and thought about it and thought about it. And one day I thought, when I'm about to take my last breath, am I going to look back and regret the decision not to have a child? And I decided, yes, I was going to regret it. And my wife and I decided to have a child who turned out to be a beautiful daughter, and which has turned out to be one of the most profound experiences of my life. So I think an exercise that highlights regret or potential regret is so powerful.
Yeah. Thank you, Scott. Thank you so much for sharing. Yes, so beautifully. Indeed. Indeed. And I've gone through a version of that myself, imagining that I'm at my deathbed. Would I regret not having taken a particular fork in the road? And the answer was yes. And that there was just clarity. Before it was like, no, I'm not so sure. Do I do this? Like, yep. In the light of death, there's clarity. It's God has to be done. Thank you so much for bringing that in and sharing your experience. Oh, beautiful. May it serve others. May it serve others. So thank you all. Thank you so much for sharing your presence, your practice, your cultivation to support yourselves, others, and all beings. May we all wake up together. May all beings be free.